Hey, I'm Fred Minnick, and today we are going to be tasting some Chattanooga whiskey bottled in bond. Woo! Giddy up! All right, so I am so excited to be tasting this bottled in bond here from Chattanooga. Look, I've been to Chattanooga's distillery. It's beautiful. It's right there in the mountains. They get a lot of visitors there, who mountain bike and everything. But this distillery is so important because they were very forward in the changing of the laws in Tennessee. So all these craft distillers that are coming online right now in Tennessee, they should all be sending people like Chattanooga Whiskey and H.C. Clark Distillery and Corsair. They should all be sending them thank you cards, because saying like, hey, I really appreciate you changing all these laws that have been on the books since 1935. Because of Chattanooga, this was a very important distillery that got themselves in a lot of lawsuits and so forth just so they could make whiskey. And so when I see Chattanooga, I always like to point that out because sometimes we get caught up with how does it taste? Is it any good? That sort of thing. And, they are so important for the story and movement of craft whiskey in Tennessee and really all the United States. But now with the story out and me kind of like giving them a little brag here, now it's about the whiskey. Now, the whiskey doesn't lie. All the work you've done with government and all the things you've done to market it, that don't matter. When it comes to pouring it in a glass like this and tasting it, it's all about, is it good? So let's find out here. This is a bottled in bond. This is of their high malt. So basically Chattanooga has this process where they use a lot of malt in their bourbon recipes. Traditionally, bourbon distillers have looked at malt, so malted barley, as kind of like just a necessary grain to have for fermentation. But Chattanooga and others look at it as a flavoring grain. And so more than 25% of the mash bill in this one is malt. So that would be, 2 or 3 times higher than most bourbon distillers in Kentucky. So this is a bottled in bond. It's north of 4 years old. And of course, bottled in bond means it has to be at least, it means it has to be at least 4 years old. Also has to be 100 proof and distilled at one distillery in one distilling season. So here we go. Let's give this a taste. Ooh, boy, that smells a lot like honey. Pears, honey. I like that a lot.
I like it a lot.
I like the way it smells. Chocolate, too. There's some chocolate note there. Boy, Chattanooga. I hope you taste as good as you smell. Damn, that's good. That's real good. I'm talking cherry pie. I'm talking hazelnuts. There's that pear note I picked up in the beginning. It's there. That there's this gorgeous honey note, like graham crackerish kind of honey. And I find that honey is very common when there's a lot of malt in something. So if you go through my Scotch tasting notes over the years or my videos, you'll see that I call out honey a lot. And this is very honey forward for me. I really like this. I'm thinking like honey in like the granola sense. It's got, you got this honey, like a sticky honeyness, and then you got some nuts. I'm going to taste it one more time. Woo! Man, that finish is good. It is still on the palate. Both times there is kind of like a back palate spice on the finish, and it's just kind of lingering around. What's interesting about that is that the spice does not appear until the finish. So we've got tip of the palate with the honey, We've got some middle palate with kind of like that pie crust from that cherry pie note I talked about. And then on the finish, we get back palate. And it's a spice. It looks to be like a black pepper spice. It's not really defining itself too much for me, but it's hitting all areas of the palate and even just a little bit on the side. So this is a full palate bourbon that is absolutely delicious. They did a fine job with this, and once again, Chattanooga whiskey has opened a lot of doors for American distillers, and I think by proving that you can make cool bourbons with a lot of malts in a bottled and bond series is just another chapter in the storied history of Chattanooga. So that's going to do it for this review. I highly recommend this Chattanooga whiskey bottled and bond. It'll set you back around $50. That's 50. So it's not going to break the bank, and it'll be worth every penny when you get it in your house. But that's going to do it for this week, folks. Make sure you taste for yourself. Don't just listen to me or other people. Taste for yourself. Critics, you know what? Maybe one day we're good. Maybe one day we're bad. Maybe our palate isn't like yours. And that's why you taste for yourself. You watch people like me for education, but taste for yourself to make your own decisions. But that's going to do it, folks. Be safe out there. Remember, vodka sucks unless it's being used for hand sanitizer. Cheers, everybody.